Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Natasha from Yarn Over with Natasha, and in today's video we're going to do a little bit of a sponsorship. So Elite Yarns has sent me some of their velvet yarn. This is called Dulcie, and they sent me a couple of colors. They sent me in the yarn in the 6 weight and the 4 weight, and in today's video I'm going to make this little whale. So this is Waffle the Whale that I made with the Dulcie velvet yarn, and I'm going to show you step by step how to create your own little whale. So this whale is a free pattern on my blog. It used to be a sewing pattern, but now with the new updated pattern made in velvet yarn, it is a no sewing pattern, because we all know how horrible it is to sew on pieces when using velvet yarn. So velvet yarn tends to shed, fluff on the string tends to move. So this pattern is now a no sewing pattern so that you can make it in velvet yarn. So if you want to make this little fluffy whale, just keep on watching, and I'm going to show you step by step how to create your own. Today's YouTube tutorial was sponsored by Elite Yarns. So Elite Yarn is a yarn company based here in South Africa. They have been in business since 2015, and they do stock a wide range of yarns. So although they are the new kids on the block, they really have made a name for themselves here in South Africa. The different yarn textures that they do keep is acrylic, wool, alpaca, viscose, and of course the velvet yarn. So if you are looking for any type of yarn to make your next project, you are more than welcome. Search their brand on Google and find your nearest yarn store. I know places like Takealot and the Wool Shop and other yarn stores also keep their brand, and also some P&A shops here in South Africa. My favorite yarn shop, the Wool Shop, also going to stock this yarn pretty soon. So if you want to order from there, you can use my code YARNOVER for a 5% discount. So without keeping you any longer, let's go and make this fluffy Waffle the Whale. You will need 2 colors. So I'm using the blue. This is color 746 from the Dulcie range. It's a velvet range from Yarn Art, Elite Yarns. And also color 753. So this is going to be the top, this is going to be the bottom. I'm going to do it a blue and a little green whale. So you need about 50 grams in total. So we're going to use like half a skein of each of these colors. So a little bit more of the blue, because we're going to make the whale, the fins and the tail as well. So you might use a little bit more of the blue and a little less of the green. And then of course you're going to need some scissors to cut your yarn. You're going to need a stitch marker to keep track of your stitches. Then you're going to need a 3.5mm hook. If this is too difficult to work with this yarn, you can go up to a 4mm or 4.5 if you want to, because the yarn does recommend using a 6.5, but we are making amigurumi, so you need to use a hook size at least 1 or 2 sizes smaller than the recommended hook. That is 2 sizes smaller than the recommended hook size on your yarn. So I'm using a 3.5. This yarn is very easy to work with. It glides easily, so I have no troubles using a 3.5. So you can go ahead and use 3.5, but if you do struggle, don't be scared to go up a hook size or 2 when using this yarn. And then you're going to need a darning needle. Even though this pattern is a no sewing pattern, you're going to need a darning needle to close up the bottom of your whale. And then of course we're going to need a pair of safety eyes. And then lastly we're going to need some polyester stuffing to stuff your whale with. Working with the blue, because we first need to make the fins and the tail so that we can attach them as we make the body. Okay, so we're first going to start with the 2 fins. We're going to make our magic ring. Now, with velvet yarn, you need to be very careful. With chenille yarn, any chenille yarn, doesn't matter which one you are using, is going to fluff. So if you take to the point and you pull it off, you will notice that the fluff comes off. So when you do a magic ring, make sure that you have a long enough yarn tail so that you don't fluff out the end. So you're going to wrap your around and you're going to make a magic circle, and now we're going to start with 5 single crochets within the magic circle. And we're going to pull it tight. Remember to, if you see that your yarn is twisted in the circle, just take it out and then just lightly pull on it. And there's your magic circle closed. So this yarn or Dulcie yarn, it's a dream to make a magic circle. I have made the bunny already, and I have never once making the bunny struggled with a magic circle. So your next round is going to be 5 single crochets. Calls for increase times 5, so you're going to have 10 stitches. So it's 1, 2 in the 1 stitch, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's increase times 5, so that means you have 10 stitches at the end of your round. In the next round, we're going to do 1 single crochet in each stitch. So that is 10 stitches. The next round calls for 1 single crochet increase times 5, so we're going to end up with 15 stitches. So it's going to be 1 single crochet. We're going to place our stitch marker. In the next stitch, we're going to do an increase. And then we're going to do another single crochet, and we're going to do an increase again, and you're going to repeat this method all around till you have reached your stitch marker again, and you will end up with 15 stitches on your round. You now have 15 stitches on your round, and for the next 2 rounds we're going to single crochet in each stitch around. So you're going to remove your stitch marker, you're going to make your first single crochet. And for the 14 stitches, we're just going to make 1 single crochet in each stitch. So that is already 1 stitch. And by the end of your round, you're going to be on this one, and that's going to be 15 stitches. So you're going to do that twice. The next round calls for 5 decreases and then 5 single crochet stitches. So what we're going to do in this is we're going to do 5 decreases right one after the other. So that's 1 decrease. A second decrease, you're going to hook your crochet hook under the first 2 loops of the 2 stitches next to each other. You're going to pull up a loop, you're going to yarn over, and you're going to pull through 2 loops, and that's another decrease. So this is an invisible decrease. So we have made 2 already, so that there's one, second one, 3, 4, 5. And then for the next 5 stitches, we will only do a single crochet. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there we have now 5 stitches. So we have the 5 decreases and the 5 single crochet stitches for this round. And you would end with 10 stitches. For the next round, it calls for 2 decreases and then crochet a single crochet in the last stitch, 6 stitches, and that makes for 8. Do 1 decrease. We're going to place our stitch marker. We're going to do another decrease. And then we're going to single crochet in the last 6 stitches, 1 single crochet in each stitch. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we're going to remove the stitch marker. We're not going to stuff the fin. We're going to keep it just as it is because we are using a velvet yarn. It's thick, but you also with a normal yarn, doesn't matter what yarn you're using, you don't stuff the fin. So we're just going to close up the fin. So we have 8 stitches in total. So we need to make 4 stitches across to close it. So we're going to go through both sides of the fin. We're going to yarn over and pull through, and we're going to yarn over and pull through 2. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's kind of tricky with the velvet yarn to see the stitches, but you need 4 stitches at the top of your fin for the pattern to make sense when you are making the body. So just make sure that you have 4 stitches across. 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches across. Then you're going to cut your yarn, and you can cut a short yarn tail because we are going to crochet the fin into the body as we make it. So we can just make that a short yarn tail, and there's one fin now complete, and we're going to make a second one. So you're going to repeat this, and you're going to make a second fin. On this video to make the second fin, I'm just going to put the details on the screen right here, so you can now make the second fin by just reading what the pattern is. Once you have finished your 2 fins, you can put them aside, and then we can start with the tail. For the first section of the tail, we're going to make a magic ring. We're going to single crochet 5. The next round calls for increase times 5, so that's 10 stitches. We're going to do 2 single crochets in 1 stitch for an increase. 1, 2, 3. For the next 2 rounds, we're going to do 1 single crochet in each stitch, so that is 10 stitches around, and you're going to do it for the next 2 rounds. So this is 1 round and second round. So that's 1 round done. We're going to do it another one. Next round, we're going to do 1 single crochet increase times 5, and that will end you with 15 stitches on your round. So you're going to be 1 single crochet, insert your hook, insert your stitch marker, and then you're going to do 2 increases. You're going to do a single crochet, and you're going to place your stitch marker and an increase, and you're going to repeat this 5 times more. You're going to repeat this 4 times more round, so you have 15 stitches on your round. Now that you have 15 stitches on your round, you're going to do 2 rounds of 15 single crochets. That's round 1. So for the next round, we're going to do 1 single crochet decrease. So it's 1 single crochet placed, and then place your stitch marker, and then do a decrease. 1 single crochet decrease, and you're going to repeat that till you have reached the end of your round and you have 10 stitches on your round. The first part of your tail is now done. We're going to repeat this till we've reached this part. So what you're going to do here with this fin is you're going to end it off with a slip stitch. You're going to cut your yarn tail, and we're going to weave in this yarn tail because we're not going to use it. So you're going to take your needle, you're going to thread it through the yarn, and we're just going to weave the tail in. We're just going to weave this end into the back, pull it through, pull it a little bit tight, cut the yarn, and then just remove all the little bit of fluff. So there we have the first tail is now done of the whale, and we're going to do the second one so that we can connect the two together. So for the second fin, I'm just going to put the details here on the screen again, or you can just jump back in this video and from the start watch how to make the first fin tail. Now that you have completed your second fin, you're going to single crochet 5 stitches. In the next 5 stitches, you're going to make 1 single crochet. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now you're going to move on to your first tail that you made. You're going to connect it, and you're going to single crochet 10. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now you're going to move back to your first fin, and you're going to make 5 single crochets into that tail. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now the tail is connected. The two tails are now connected to each other. So what you're going to do now is you're going to fold it in half like this. You're going to take your crochet hook and you're going to single crochet across the tail. So you need to do 10 single crochets across this tail. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's important for the pattern when we do the body that you have 10 stitches that is across from your tail. So here is your tail. You're going to just make a little knot. You're going to cut your yarn and you're going to weave in the ends as well, as this is going to be sewn into the body. So there we have the tail and we have the 2 fins as well, and we're going to move on to making the body. So for the body of the whale, we're going to start at the top and we're going to work our way down to the tummy. So we're going to start with a magic circle once again, and now we're going to do 6 single crochets within that magic circle. So the next round calls for increase times 6, and that gives you 12 stitches. The next round calls for 1 single crochet increase times 6, and that's going to give you 18 stitches. So we're going to place our stitch marker, and we're going to repeat the sequence 1 single crochet increase times 6 to get 18 stitches at the end of our round. Next round calls for 2 single crochet increase, and that's going to give you 24 stitches. So we're going to place our first single crochet. We're going to make another single crochet, and then we're going to increase in the 3rd stitch, and you're going to repeat this 5 times more, so you have reached 24 stitches on your round. To prevent your velvet yarns from making a point at the top where you do the 6 single crochet, just stretch it out a little bit with your thumb and index fingers, just to flatten it out a little bit before you go too far with the rounds, and it's going to be nice and flat. The next round calls for 3 single crochets increase, so we're going to do our first single crochet. We're going to insert our stitch marker, and we're going to do 2 more single crochets next to each other, and in the 4th stitch we're going to do an increase, and you're going to repeat this method 5 times more. So it's 1, 2, 3, and then an increase in the next stitch, and then again 1, 2, 3, and an increase, and you're just going to continue this till you have reached the end of your round. Then you're going to end up with 30 stitches on your round. So just go around and do the same sequence over again. So for the next round, we're going to do 2 single crochet increase. This is going to prevent you from forming a little hexagon. So you're going to do first 2 single crochets. Just place your stitch marker into that first stitch. Increase. And then you're going to do 4 single crochets. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And an increase. And then you're going to do 4 again. And you're going to repeat this 5 times more. Then you're going to be left with 2 stitches on your round, and in those 2 stitches you're just going to make 1 single crochet in each stitch. So it's 2 single crochet, it's 1, 2. So you have reached the end of your round. The next round calls for 5 single crochet increase, so we're just going to do 5 single crochets. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 with an increase. And we're just going to repeat that 5 times more till we've reached the end of our round. By the end of this round, you will have 42 stitches. So for the next round, we're going to do 3 single crochet increase and then 6 single crochet increase. So we're going to start with the 3 first. This is just to round out your wale so it's not pointy. So it's 1, 2, 3, increase. And then for the next 5 sequences, we're going to do 6 single crochet increase. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, increase, and you're going to repeat this 4 times more, and you're going to be left with 3 stitches again at the back at the end of your round, and that's only going to be 1 single crochet in each stitch. So by the end of the round, you're going to have 3 stitches. So you're just going to single crochet in the 3 stitches, and now you're going to end with 48 stitches. So the last increase round for this wale is 7 single crochets increase. So we're just going to do 7 of them. So it's 1, place your stitch marker, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and an increase. And then we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, increase. So for the next 6 rounds, we're going to build onto the body. So for the next 6 rounds, we're only going to do 1 single crochet in each and every stitch. So we're just going to place the stitch marker, and then we're just going to make 6 rounds of single crochet. So you're just going to continue making a single crochet in each stitch round for 6 rounds. Okay, so now I've made the first 5 rounds. Now with the 6th round, we are going to insert the fins and the tail. So what you're going to do is with your first, you're going to place your stitch marker. You're going to make your first single crochet stitch. You're going to mark it. And then you're going to take your first fin and you're going to place it onto the body, but you're going to flip it upside down. So the point of the fin needs to show towards you so that it can flip back when you attach it, and so that it's not on the inside when you want to stuff your wale. So you need to place it on the outside. Just make sure your work is the right side out, and that means that your yarn tail should be in the inside. So if you have been crocheting like this with the tail outside, you need to flip it upside down. With your tail inside, you're going to take your first fin, you're going to place it onto your work, and you're going to single crochet 4 across. So you're going to go through the fin, you're going to go through the body, you're going to pull up a loop, and you're going to single crochet 4 across. Now that you have the 4 across, you will see that your fin is now going to lie flat once you go around. Remember that the little curved piece of the fin needs to be showing to your right hand. So you're going to have this section, the rounded section, to your right. And now you're going to single crochet for the next 9 stitches. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then you're going to place your tail. So you're going to take your tail, you're going to do the same. You're going to have the pointed side of your tail towards you. You're going to put it onto the body on the outside, and you're going to single crochet 10 across, going through the tail and the body at the same time. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then for the next 9 stitches, you're going to go round so that you can attach the last fin. So now the bobble, this rounded piece of the fin, is also going to be on the opposite side, is now going to be in your left hand. So this curved side, the left side of your body, when you attach it to the whale. So we're going to single crochet 9. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now we're going to place the fin. Remember that this bobble side should be on your left side when it's facing towards you. You're going to flip it over. You're going to have the pointed side showing towards you so that your work doesn't end up inside of your whale. So now you're just going to single crochet 4 across. And you're going to single crochet in the remaining stitches of the front of your whale till you have reached your stitch marker again. And this is now what your whale should look like from the top, from the side, a fin this side, a fin on the other side, and the tail at the back and the front of your whale. So now we can insert the safety eyes. So we're going to take our safety eyes and we're going to insert it on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, between rows 4 and 5, counting from the bottom. And we're going to insert our safety eye just there, just across from the fin. And we're going to secure it. And we're going to do the same on this side. As you can see, it is about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitches away from the fin. So we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 between rows 3 and 4 and 5. We can just flatten the whale out like this and just make sure that we are on the right ground. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and we are 5 stitches away from the fin, so we can secure our safety eyes just here. And there we have our eyes placed onto our whale. And now we're going to start with the body, and we're going to change colors now. So this color changing method is the same as I've used in my previous videos. So we're going to go over to using the green. Start with the green, the mint green. We're going to do our first single crochet, but we're only going to do it halfway. So it's half a single crochet. We're going to attach the new color by hooking it onto the hook, pulling it through both loops, then making a knot, and we're going to single crochet in the back loop only. So if you look at your yarn, you will see there's two little loops. It's a bit difficult with the velvet, but if you put in your hook into the first one, you will see there's a hook loop behind it. So that is the back loop. So we're just going to go into the back loop, and we're going to single crochet around till we've reached the beginning of the round again. So we're just going to make sure when you crochet, just skip that first little part there and go into the back, and go into the back loop of every stitch around till you've reached your color change again. At this point, you can now cut the blue yarn. So you don't need this anymore. We can cut it off and remove it. And now we're going to start decreasing the belly of our whale so we can stuff it up. So the next round now calls for 7 single crochets decrease. So we're going to do 7 single crochets. Remember your stitch marker if you want to keep track of your stitches. So it's 7 single crochets and then a decrease. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and a decrease is the 2 stitches combined. There we go with the decrease, and then 7 single crochets again, and you're going to repeat this till you have reached your stitch marker again. So we're going to do the next decrease round is going to be 6 single crochet decrease. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then a decrease, and we're going to repeat that till we have reached our stitch marker again. Once you have completed that, you will now move on to the next round. That is 5 single crochet decrease. So you're going to repeat that 6 times as well. So it's 5 single crochet decrease times 6, and that's going to give you 36 stitches. So once you have completed the round of 5 single crochet decrease times 6, you're going to now do 4 single crochet decrease times 6, and you're going to end up with 30 stitches. Next round, you're going to do 3 single crochet decrease times 6, and you're going to end with 24 stitches. So it's 1, 2, 3, and a decrease, and you're going to continue this around till you have reached the end of your stitch marker, and you will have 24 stitches on your round. For the following round, it's going to be 2 single crochet decrease, and that's going to give you 18 stitches. So it's going to be 1, 2, and a decrease, and you're going to repeat that 5 times more, so it's 6 in total. So it's 6, so it's 2 single crochet in decrease times 6. So once you have reached 18 stitches, you can start stuffing your whale. So you want opening where you're going to insert your stuffing to be small enough so that the stuffing can stay in place and not fall out. So I recommend closing the opening until 18 stitches or 12 stitches. 12 stitches can be a little bit more tricky, so I would recommend like 18 stitches. Now the thing with the whale is you don't want to overstuff it. So you don't want it to be like a round little ball. So you want to stuff mostly at the top of the whale, and once you start moving down, you're going to stuff a little at a time so that you can still have that flat body at the bottom and then the round body at the top. So I just push in my stuffing and then I push it to the sides so that it can fill up on the sides as well. I curl my fingers in at the bottom, just keeping the bottom flat, but stuffing at the top. And you're just going to continue stuffing till you feel it is nice and firm and it bounces back. So when you do squish it in and leave it, it bounces back. So it's not going to stay like this. And if it's too hard, you can't really press it in, and that means you're too much stuffing. And what's going to happen is your whale is going to turn into a little ball instead of a whale with a flat bottom. So once my whale is semi-stuffed, not completely stuffed, but most of the stuffing is in, I'm going to decrease again. Moving on to the next round. The next round is going to be 1 single crochet decrease. So the next round is 1 single crochet decrease. So it's going to be 1 decrease. And we're going to continue this 6 times around. So it's 1 single crochet decrease times 6. You will now have 12 stitches on your round, and what you can do is you can take a little bit more stuffing. If you feel that your toy needs a little bit more stuffing, you can take a little bit more of stuffing and you can just place it here in the center just to fill it up a little bit more. And then we can continue with the next round, that is 6 decreases to make 12 stitches on your round. So we're going to decrease times 6. Once you have completed the round and you have 6 single crochets on and you have 6 stitches left, you're going to cut your yarn. You're going to cut a yarn tail so that you can sew it close at the bottom. So you're going to take your darning needle, you're going to weave in the end, and you're going to weave it back and forth through your stitches. You want to work slowly and gently because this yarn does shed and the yarn does move on the string, but it happens with almost all type of chenille yarns. So when you're working with chenille yarn, make sure that you are soft and slow when it comes to pulling the yarn through with your needle so that you don't split it in the middle and move the fluff around otherwise you're going to struggle to close the bottom. So you just pull it gently. You're going to insert your hook under, going to pull it through that loop, give it a little knot, and then you're just going to move back into the body, and you can just remove your needle. As you can see, it makes these little openings, and then you can just cut the yarn and give the whale a little bit of a squeeze, and there we have finished our whale. So we can just clean up and remove all the fluff. I use a lint roller to just remove the fluff. And there we have our whale. So Waffle the whale is now done. There's the tail, the fins. Here's the top, the side, and the bottom of the whale. Just squeeze it a little bit, just to keep the stuffing in place. But there is the whale. And that was it for today's video tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. And remember, if you have made Waffle the whale, please tag me on social media. My handles are Yarn Over with Natasha, at Yarn Over with Natasha, or use the hashtag Yarn Over Natasha. I would love to see your creations. I would love to see what you come up with. And place in the comments below if you enjoyed this tutorial, if you want to see more of these kind of type of tutorials. And remember to like and subscribe. So if you do enjoy watching my videos, remember to like and subscribe. It really does help my channel out a lot, especially me being a newbie, just starting with a YouTube channel. I would love to hear you guys' opinion. So drop it in the comments below or like and subscribe to my channel. And have a waffly day. Till next time.